What's going on, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Farmville. Hooray! As we can see in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to build a city like this. I mean, it's not really rocket science, but a realistic looking American farm city. So first of all, let's say you're coming from the highway, your city is way over there somewhere, and always put a little bit of distance. I know with only 9 tiles that might be hard, but if you want to add to your realism, that really helps. Put up a little highway just like it is. This could be US 23, US, I don't know, whatever, US 54, whatever you want to call it. And it's a forested area over here. And then the trees get lighter and lighter, and boom, you hit the first buildings of your farming village. And then a lot of times on these highways, you get little crossings like that with just stop signs, no traffic lights. So these guys that turn over here are just praying to God that they do not get hit. And then I added the large barn kind of as a welcome sign. You have the forestry main building and the farm maintenance building as well, just to welcome everybody and into the town. Now the sides, as we know, we are not able to zone on the highway, so you kind of have to place them as closely as possible as you can with these roads over there. On this side, actually, it's a lot better. So as we can see over here, these guys are hugging the highway real tight, so that's always nice to see. I'm going to show you guys the exact units in a bit right here. But yeah, you come in over here, we are going to go over basic infrastructure layout for the city. We're going to go over some house building, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the farm fields and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you do, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Other than that, enjoy the ride and building Farmville. A cute spot for the farm main building is actually right over here, so that when you drive in and you notice that you're getting close to a town, you see this little building. Now along the highway, you can, for realism purposes, you can already add some farms. Now as we all know, we can't zone on the highway, so what we can do is just kind of estimate, put a road right next to it somewhere, and see if that fits. This does not fit, so I went a little bit too close. So let's get a little further out this time, right about over here. Okay, so that's a little better, but it's a little bit too far for my liking. So you just play around with it a little bit. Actually, right here maybe. See if this fits. And yep, so now we could place one right here and another one right there. So now that when you drive by over here into the town, you could see that there are farms over here. And if you do the cornfields and stuff like that, and you realize like, oh man, there's life over here, and there are going to be buildings and stuff like that. Now for the longer ones, of course, you have to go a little bit further out. So let's see if this distance would work right here. Just a little bit too close. So we'll go a little bit further out. And these ones fit just right. Okay, perfect. So then you drive through and you're like, oh wow, cool, awesome. Now, in terms of the infrastructure layout, what you usually get in small farmvilles or smaller towns on the outside of the US is usually you will get a speed limit sign that says, hey, drop your speed to 45 miles below, I mean, for 45 miles an hour, and then you will start getting houses at first, usually. Sometimes you get a library or whatnot, but let's just place on a couple of houses right here. And then you are going to start hitting downtown, which usually they have decorated really cute. And sometimes it's 4-lane roads, but sometimes it's just a 1-lane road with lots of parking and stuff on the side. Your main building usually over there is a pharmacy, like a, what do they call it, the Walgreens, or a post office, which we are going to plop down right at the corner over here. And then a lot of these towns have fire stations, so let's plop one of these fire stations down somewhere over here. You don't usually find these right on the main road, but they are very close to the downtown area. And the police station will plop down right over here. And then the central... Oh, I forgot one building actually, which is really important for me, which is the tax office. So let's swap places really quick. We will move this one over. Move the fire station run over. So you still have that corner building, which is really important for the town. And let's grab the tax office and plop that right in the middle over here. Perfect. Now, usually in the downtown areas, you just get a bunch of shops. And what I'm looking for right now is with the unique building district that we are able to do. I'm looking for gas stations, and I'm going to hit those right away. So over here, I'm just going to hit to keep those historic on the early stage American looking buildings. And this might actually be too close over here, but that's alright. We will just deal with that. You guys can use the spacing and whatnot and edit that to your liking. These guys still need power. Then you usually have a cemetery somewhere too. Sometimes I see them just a little bit further down on the main road. Once, this is part over here, once it goes back to a regular one-way street usually. So then you're leaving town, and yeah, their downtown is really just a couple of stores. So here we got Sally's. We will keep you. You look pretty cute. And let's place the cemetery somewhere on the outskirts of town, right over here. And the hospital, usually those places don't have hospitals, but I feel like in City Skylines they need hospitals just in case somebody gets sick. So let's just, I guess it could be your pharmacy building. So let's just plop that on the main road over here and see how that looks. I mean, it kind of looks like a pharmacy, right? Nothing too bad. And yeah, so that's going to be your main setup for your little Farmville. Now this building I think is going to be too big for our liking, so we'll get rid of that. Sometimes if the town is big they have a McDonald's, if not then no McDonald's is available. But as of now this looks pretty cute. Now a really important building I think for us to place down would be the barns, because nothing screams more Midwest US more than a barn. So you can place those over here, or even place those, let's see where we can put one. Just over here, and this can kind of be like your entrance to your little village. So far so good, right? This town doesn't, this one doesn't really look very American. Now for the cross streets, a lot of them are just really boring and run straight, just because there's so much land there. It's usually flat. But just for our own purposes, let's have this just curve off a little bit over here and head into the woods. And then you can connect this one over here. But yeah, and then with these back roads, you can really do what you want. You can curve them or not, and just do with them as you please. So let's connect this one up right here to give these farms a little bit of an access. In terms of schools, I do see a lot of them on the main roads as well, but also just off of the main roads. I see a lot of those as well. So far, this is our little Midwestern town over here. It's getting pretty busy already, it seems, because of the barn. So we might have to be careful with that, because a lot of these trucks are just U-turning over here. But yeah, let's see what else we got. We got the silos, which are usually seen on the main roads as well. So let's place that, and they're also a lot of times close to the train station. So if you're building a cargo hub, you can plop those over there. Now let's actually run along over here. Run along this road, just so we can have a couple more farms and stuff over here. So we have the large animal farm. So let's place down 2 of these. And we'll have 1 sheep and 1 cows. And then what I realized actually looks pretty good is placing the fences just along the highway, and then they can actually connect over here. So that's pretty neat. And it looks good as well, and you can have like your own little farm field over here and just place on a couple of trees and whatnot, or it can just be a rotating field as you wish. And then you can have that run just along right here. And then something I forgot to mention was a lot of Midwestern or a lot of small American towns actually have like a little welcome sign here and there just before you enter the town. So it says like, hey, welcome to Farmville. There's not really much to see over here, but we'll still put up a sign and pretend like there's much to see. So yeah, so that just a nice little welcoming sign over here. And so something else that you might notice is if the town has money, they sometimes put up cute little parks or something like that just outside the downtown area, or they put together sports complexes with beach volleyball and a basketball court and just something small for the community over here. But so far so good. If we just populate this area a little bit further, then it would all begin to come together real nicely. Okay, so in terms of housing, what I realized works best is just grab a plot of land and make some bigger houses, some 4x4s, just because, you know, out in the country land is cheap and whatnot. Make some 4x4s and then grab the farm fence and just draw right around it over here. You can add one of these abandoned trucks right there. Let's just say these guys own this whole orchard, so good for them. Lock in the building if you like it, historic building. And then they have a couple of old cars that they don't use anymore stored out in the back. This right here is a gazebo. I don't know if you like it or not. And then just add a couple more props here and there and make it look a little bit more alive, the whole property and whatnot. I wish we could do a little bit more with the vehicles, but it is what it is. So let's add just another car right here. Let's say this guy is pulling in, or already did pull in at some point, and maybe another car every here and there. And from afar, like, this looks pretty alive, honestly. And yeah, you can really make every house have its own unique story. So these guys over here don't actually have any farm, but they own, I don't know, some company in town, so they were still able to get themselves a nice piece of land with, and instead they just planted a couple of trees here and there. And yeah, it looks pretty nice and it's coming together. And these guys over here have a house. I wish the house looked different, but they are locked in. They have the whole farm locked in with a fence, or I don't really know. I don't know. I can't really think of the right word right now, but you guys know what I mean. So yeah, you can play around like that and just make bigger lots for these houses. Turn snapping on, and these actually snap real nicely right against the road. At least they did over there. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. If they don't, just turn snapping off and go right up against the road right here. And then you can draw a real nice property line, a real big one for these guys, just like how it would be out in the country anyway. Just across from the cows. And then leaving town, you can pretty much do the exact same thing. Have it exit out on the smaller roads. This building's too big over here. Get rid of that. Have it exit on the smaller roads and then just turn it into a highway. Now, if you have a perfectly straight road and you want to have your crop fields, at least the large one, hit exactly on the highway, you will want to go 18 units. So this is 20 over here, 19, 18. Hit 18 units. Grab your large farm field, and as you can see, it's gonna hug the road tightly, go right across over here. So let's drag this out for a little bit longer, and we can just have a bunch of farm fields. If I drew the industrial area out a little further, this would help, obviously. So let's grab this a little bit more. Grab your large farm field and just plop that on there. Perfect. So now you're just driving past a very, very large farm, crop field or whatever it is. Give these guys water. The smaller ones are much simpler. These are only 10, and the medium ones as well. So once again over here, just fill these holes and stuff with whatnot as you wish. You can plop down a couple of silos or silos over here just to add something more for your eye. Also on the way out right there. And then over here, I actually just plop down the barn right there and put a fence around it. And that's just another nice building that you can check out right as you enter over here. And then over here I added a little forest. So you're basically in a very rural area before you hit the city. So let's just take a cute little drive right here with our hot dog car, just picking up some cattle, and we are going for a little of a drift. And then you ease on the forest. I cannot control this thing for to save my life. Alright, a little bit of Farmville drift right here. Why not? But this is the entrance of the town. Everybody's flying by me because it's on 3 times. And then you hit the city. And you're like, wow, this place is actually pretty nice. But if I spend a little bit more than 1 week over here, I'm going to get bored. So yeah, here's your Midwestern looking, American looking Farmville. You guys can tweak this as you wish. I put the flour mill in the middle just because I kind of feel like it would be the heart of this town. And then let's actually grab the bakery really quick if I can find it. Somewhere over here. I think it's a cute building though, and I think the bakery right over here. And I think it would look great. Actually, it would complement the town very well. You can actually make that one of your buildings on Main Street as well. But let's just plop it over here, and it's a nice factory even if you're coming in from over there. So both ways you could make a nice entryway for both ways with the barns and whatnot. But over here we can't put one, of course, because we didn't put down the crossroad. Just plop down the crossroad right over here, and now we can put our barn right against the road. That's the large barn. Grab the fence. Something very similar. I have a loop back around right over here. And now, I don't know, you can just do something small that you want. Maybe have some flowering trees. All in the line, like a little orchard. Ta-da! Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know what you think. Let me know what ideas you guys have to make American-looking farmvilles or smaller farming villages. I don't really know how to call them. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Riverbend. Take care.